Testing 1 2, testing 1 2 3. We're going in raw again on WDSH The Dash. This is Dash After Dark. I am your host, Dash Zero, and today we are playing Triangle Strategy. I suppose I can take a quick moment to recap, because a number of interesting things have happened so far, and this is still just the setup of the story. Alright, so you have these three nations, right? You have Esfrost, where basically they're iron and technology, right? You have Byzant or Hyzant, one of those, where it's basically where it's basically like a religious institution that governs the trade of salt. And then you've got Glenbrook, which is basically just the middleman. They're basically just kind of peace brokers or something. I find it kind of interesting that the major conflict that happened some 30 odd years ago in the story was called the Salt Iron War, but like Glenbrook isn't really known for much of anything. What is interesting, however, is that the mining operation that they're undertaking is on Glenbrook's soil, right? So, hey, how's it going, Psycho Matt? How is life treating you? So, there's a mining operation that's taking place. It's a joint mining operation, which means that there are resources to be gathered, which, resources have long been a source of conflict for human beings. Our main character it's his first day being a lord, and he's just gotten married, and it looks like things are kind of tenuous at best. Let's take a look. But yeah, so oh wait, oops, wrong window. All right, but yeah, I hope you guys are well. Last time we participated in a tournament that was basically like what's the word I'm looking for? It was basically like a celebratory tournament for like the joint mining operation, the marriage between the main character and here's hoping that you're happier in your new vocation, or well, old vocation rather. Oh man, but yeah. So like, there's this tournament. We participated. We went up against a legend, and we got our ass beat off screen. And I'm still kind of mad about that, because I want to see how hardcore that legend was, and I don't have any idea, because they decided that, hey, you know what? You don't get to fight that guy. And yeah. So that's what happened last. Let's load the game here. Was it the autosave or the quick save? This one, yes. To arms, brave warriors, completed. There we go. Yes. Yes, we will begin with this save data. So yeah, that's a basic rundown. It's a little scattershot, but like,
Serenoa and his stalwart allies prove their mettle against the realm's fiercest warriors before finally facing Sir Maxwell, victor of the previous tourney. After a hard-fought match, the Dawn Spear emerges victorious once more.
hard fought. We got our ass beat off screen. This is on PC. This is actually a pretty decent game. It kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy Tactics, and I think that's what it's supposed to do. It's kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics, but it's capitalizing a bit more on the popularity of the show Game of Thrones a bit, because the situation that we find ourselves in is kind of similar to Game of Thrones-ish, kind of. You know, the main character is married in a political marriage, but you find out that the people being married don't really have any value as you know, political marriage targets. They're basically just their marriage isn't a sham, but it's one that holds little political value. They're basically just pawns being married so that they can be thrown away, pretty much. I'm still salty about being beat off screen. I didn't get a chance to lift a finger to this guy.
Though beaten in the end, Serenoa's courageous display impresses itself upon all in attendance. Any doubts concerning House Wolfort's martial might are put to rest.
Are they really?
Thus marks an end to the tourney and the festivities as a whole. With the spirit of harmony in their hearts, the delegates of each nation make preparations for their return voyages.
Huh, now that's interesting. Here's what's interesting about this, right? One thing I failed to mention is that Ace Frost's participation in the tournament, it looks kind of sus, because what happened was that their general faced off against Maxwell, took one hit, and gave up. So it's like, it's kind of obvious they are conserving troop strength or something. You know, something's not quite right about that. And like, she's supposed to be some kind of badass. Chapter 3, Part 1. Whither the river flows.
Seeing our honored guests off shall be your last lordly duty this day. Now, I remind you,
it is not to be taken lightly. Worry not, Benedict. They shall be sent off with all the pomp they deserve.
You take to your new role well, Lord Serenoa.
Okay. It's like Final Fantasy Tactics. Right now, everybody's at the base class because this is still the tutorial. That's right. 3 parts of tutorial so far and counting. So yeah, everybody's just the base class is recruit. And like, I'm pretty sure that there's different ways to get promoted and so on and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's a turn-based strategy. It's a turn-based strategy game. So yeah, if you've ever played Final Fantasy Tactics before, you know exactly, or Ogre Battle or Tactics Ogre, you know exactly what to expect.
As I must now take to my own. Pray, visit me at the mines whenever you have the time.
Farewell, Frederica. May we never meet again.
Okay, so, her. She is Frederica's. All right, Frederica is the chick with pink hair. She is the betrothed of Sarah Noah. This this nor this normie looking guy here, right? Um, so basically, they're pretty much just married. Um, this is her half sister. This is her half brother. They're kind of assholes.
Thank you for such a productive use of our valuable time.
And like they look the part, right? You can just feel the condescension on these illustrations.
I do so love interminable speeches and watching brutes play at war. Truly, the spirit of Glenbrook was on display for all to see.
Wow, this guy is a jerk. All right, you should play Final Fantasy Tactics. Like one of the better versions. Huh. That would be an interesting twist. But yeah, one of the better versions of Final Fantasy Tactics is actually on mobile. It's a port of the Lion War. Well, on mobile or the PSP. The easiest way to play it is on mobile, though. It's Final Fantasy Tactics: The Lion War. It's really good. It's a really good game. It's legendary. If you were alive during the PS1 days and you haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics, like, or you haven't heard of it, like why? Because it was one of the greatest PlayStation 1 games ever to ever exist. Period. There's like little excuse. Like the storytelling was chef's kiss, fantastic. Yeah, it was a classic RPG. This is like the main character's wife, Lady Estfrost, Frederica, or Lady of Estfrost, Frederica Estfrost. She's really hung up. Alright, so apparently pink-haired people are of a certain heritage in this game. We don't know the particulars, but there seems to be some kind of prejudice against them, though we only really see that with these two here, right? Yeah. So, but she's really sensitive about her heritage, and she brings it up all the time. To the point where it actually kind of gets a little bit annoying, right? But, I don't know what the deal is with people with Rosellan heritage in this game yet. We aren't privy to that information. So, for all we know, they could have done something, or something could have been done to them. That caused this. We don't know yet.
Oh, but I should watch my tongue. Wouldn't want her to go whimpering to brother.
Alright, so here's the thing, right? Esfrost is the nation to the north. They are technology and ironworks, basically. The person in charge is her half brother, their half brother as well. Oh dear, what the heck is going on? That was weird. That was very strange. Oh crap, it crashed! We've experienced a crash, folks. Ah, you missed out on a classic. Yeah, close without sending the crash data. Crap. Same here. Crap, we've experienced a crash. Give me a moment. I'm gonna have to reopen the game. Let's close it via the task manager. Oh, man. Alright, let's reopen the game. Open the game! Let me see. Triangle strategy. I can't believe this. The game crashed while I was explaining crap. Yeah, I feel you. Though, like, I had a job. I had a job when I was in middle school. So, so yeah, that's part of the reason I was able to play it. Alright. Alright, so we can skip a couple of things here.
Serenoa and his stalwart.
Let's skip that, yes.
Seeing our honored guests off shall be your last...
Alright, we've seen that.
It is not to be taken lightly. Worry not, Benedict. They shall be sent off with all the pomp they deserve.
Wait, is Streamlabs still operational? Are you guys able to see and hear me? Okay, so I can
Lord Serenoa.
I can assume that you guys can see and hear.
As I must now take to my own. Pray, visit me at the mines whenever you have the time.
Farewell, Frederica. May we never meet again.
Thank you for such a productive use of our valuable time. I do so love interminable speeches and watching brutes play at war. Truly, the spirit of Glenbrook was on display for all to see.
Man, these two. Okay. Huh. What game was that? What game was that indeed?
Oh, but I should watch my tongue. Wouldn't want her to go whimpering to brother.
Pay my fool cousin no mind. We have work to do. Work more important than any he could hope to be trusted with.
Oh wow, that's actually kind of a sick burn.
I apologize for those two. This was a fruitful day for all in attendance.
Alright, so that's the general who gave up after one hit of Laura. Let's take a look at her. She's hot! Yes, she's very attractive, and she's something of a badass, apparently.
I am glad to hear you say so, General of Laura.
Now, like, we trounced these guys in the
I
tournament.
can't believe we lost. I thought you were supposed to be one of Hyzet's greatest warriors.
Oh, dang, that was a certified classic for the PlayStation 1. And you got ripped off by GameStop. Hey, yo, you're not the first person to get ripped off by GameStop, and you certainly weren't the last. Oh, man. But yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks.
Our foe was a worthy one. It would be an honor to cross blades again someday.
Yeah, we beat those two in the tournament. This guy here, one of the Saintly Seven of Pysant, which is basically like the religious state. Now here's the funny thing, right? For a religious state, they don't have a caste system. It's kind of strange. Well, not kind of strange. The people that we're playing are basically part of a caste system. But Ace Frost to the north, the Ironworks and Technology people, and Hyzant also don't have a caste system. Both of those nations don't have a caste system. It's actually kind of interesting.
Thank you for your hospitality. Please give my regards to Lord Simone.
And her, she is smoking hot. I hope we don't wind up having to kill her or something in the future, because like she's got that villainess energy to her a little bit, but she seems really nice so far. Maybe I could be biased. I am probably biased, but like she seems okay.
Of course, Minister.
And like this guy over here, this guy looks a little like Bald Bull, doesn't he? Now let me stop using the mouse this way, because I might crash the game again. Oh, dang. Yeah, trade-ins are a ripoff, man. Trade-ins are a ripoff. But when you don't have money, like, you don't, and you want to play new games, there's really not much of a choice. So yeah, I get it.
It would seem everyone is gathered.
Now this guy here, this guy looks like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, don't he? I keep expecting him to go, chaos is a ladder.
You'll find your boats are laden with a bounty of Glenbrook's finest wares and victuals.
Huh.
King Ragnar asks that you eat and drink your fill, and toast to our three nations' newfound alliance.
Oh, that ain't gonna last long. That alliance ain't gonna last long. Well, maybe your mom was trying to find out if you were gonna be sharp. Sometimes our parents will let us get into a little trouble, you know, just to test us.
More of that swill you call wine? I suppose I could force myself to partake.
Wow, this guy is an asshole. This guy is a huge asshole.
Your king honors us with his generosity. We shall present these as offerings to the goddess of salt. The Hierophant, too, will no doubt be overjoyed.
Lord Wolford, I bring a message from King Ragnar.
Huh.
He would have you join our guests on their return voyage to serve as their envoy.
Okay. Why is battle music playing? And why are we dropping frames like a so-and-so?
This is a great honor, my lord. You would represent our nation and speak with the king's voice.
This sounds like a setup.
If it is His Majesty's wish, it is a duty I will gladly accept.
This is this guy's first day as a lord. Like, it is literally his first day.
But there are 2 vessels and only one of me. Did King Ragnar say which of our honored guests I should accompany?
That is a good point.
He would leave that decision to you, Lord Wolford.
Lord Falks, as representative of another of Glenbrook's high houses, will board the ship you do not.
Huh, that's interesting.
And why was House Tellior not given this honor? Last I knew, our kingdom had 3 high houses, not 2.
Silvio Tellior. Ah, this guy. This guy looks like a... This guy is a bit of a snake. A really fat snake. Oh, man. And you know what they say about fat snakes? They're well fed for a reason. Right? But yeah, this guy... I remember this guy from the demo. And he was something else.
Mere fact that you whimper those words before us is answer enough.
Ooh, that's a sick burn. This guy, he seems alright. Landroy Falks, you're okay. You're okay. Get in.
Good show at the tourney, Lord Serenoa. You truly are your father's son.
Bro, I got my ass beat in the grand finals. Like,
The king has seen fit to leave this decision in your hands, and I shall not gainsay his wisdom.
A lord must be worldly as well as wise. I trust you will conduct yourself as befits the lord of a high house.
and that's the guy who beat our ass.
Thank you, Sir Maxwell, Lord Falks.
The king has entrusted this decision to you, my lord. I suppose you have an idea as to why.
No idea whatsoever. It's my first day.
He means to test my judgment. He is waiting to see which I choose and for what reason.
Huh. Interesting.
Indeed. We are friendly with both nations now, so neither choice will earn his ire. That said, there is no telling how these relations may change going forward.
They're really making a big deal about this choice.
No doubt, the choice you make will have an effect on our own house's relationship with the nation you choose.
I understand. This requires careful consideration. Benedict, gather the others. I would hear their opinions on the matter. Then we shall consult the scales of conviction.
Oh wow, the scales of conviction on just trying to decide whose boat to... Look, this is going to be an easy decision, right? Alright, look. Both of them have smoking hot babes on board, or should have smoking hot babes on board, right? But, and this is important, one of them has an asshole on board. We are going with the smoking hot babe with no asshole. Oh, that doesn't sound right. But you get the gist.
At once, my lord.
Okay, so this is obviously where they want us to try out the scales of conviction mechanic. Alright, have a good one, Slyko Matt. Thank you very much for dropping by. Sleep well, hunt well. So it's obvious that they set this situation up because they want us to try this particular mechanic. Tavern is now available at the encampment. Ooh. Sundry Shop is now available at the encampment. Whitehome Castle. Okay, so let's zoom out. Is there any optional stuff? None. Alright, let's go to the menu. Let me see. Inventory. Did we get anything of value? We got a couple of iron. Interesting. Alright. See, War Chronicle. Notes. Any new notes? No. Any new information? Nope. Okay, let's go to the encampment. Take a look at sundries and the tavern. Right? So, I'm assuming this guy is for sundries? Eagle-eyed elder, welcome to the sundry shop. You can exchange your kudos for special wares here. House Wolford's always treated me well. If there's aught I can do to repay your kindness, you need only ask. Oh, wait. House Wolford has always treated me well. If there's aught I can do to repay your kindness, you need only ask. There we go. That's a better voice, isn't it? Also, I didn't greet Knight, did I? I hope I greeted Knight. But yeah, I'm hoping that Knight's well. You'll be able to promote units classes here, too. Fear not. I'll let you know when one of your comrades is ready. At the sundry shop, you can exchange kudos for items and promote your elements. Let me see. Trade kudos for rewards. The trade post operates not on coin, but kudos. These kudos can be exchanged for all sorts of items, including quietuses and medals. Quietuses are commands executed immediately in battle, and differ from abilities in 3 key ways. They do not consume a turn. They consume quietus points, QP, not TP. Each quietus may only be used once per battle. That's interesting. So that's an interesting new resource that we have at our disposal. Medals are used to promote a unit's class. They come in limited quantities, and new medals will be added as the story progresses. Huh, interesting. Okay, so we could get an extra quietus point with 100. You see, History of Glenbrook. Chronicles of Glenbrook's history compiled by the analyst Siva rather. It covers the kingdom of Glenbrook. Crap, we are 10 short of the good stuff. We can use 4 kudos to oh jeez. We can use 4 kudos to get this information. Or to get all of this information. Let me see. Development of the Norzelia Consortium. So basically, they are a neutral organization that that is kind of like, I wouldn't say they're keeping the peace, but they're a neutral middlemen to the middlemen, if that makes any sense. The Eternal Norzelia River. Records of the Norzelia River. Okay. Secret Tactics, Scroll of Heaven. A scroll left behind by the legendary strategist Volga. It contains tactical information related to cavalry units and hawk riders. Yeah, we're definitely getting this. That is Secret Tactics, Scroll of Heaven. Alright, let's just get all of these. And we'll have to wait until we get more kudos to get all of this good stuff. Let's see about promoting a class. Let me see. Serenoa is a recruit. Every unit has a class, and each class is divided into ranks: recruit, veteran, and elite. Oh, and it changes their look too. That's interesting. Promoting a unit will increase both their stats and maximum TP, and unlock new acquirable abilities. Raising a unit's class also changes their appearance in battle. You can only promote a unit's class if they are at or above the specified level and have the appropriate medal. Promoting a unit's class will consume the medal. Okay, so I don't know if we have the medal, but let's find out. We do not have the Medal of Bravery. Huh. What is and it has to be level 10. Dang, we're a long way off from promotion. Alright. Cavalryman. Again, a long way off. Bravery. Again, a long way off. So these are medals of bravery required. Frederica, Firecaster. Ooh, dang. She looks kind of cool. As a Firecaster. Gila, Physician to Curist. Spy to Assassin. Ooh. Hawkbow to Flyer. And Shield Bearer to Guardian. Ooh. Dang. There's some good stuff. Alright, so we can't really do much here. Let's take a look at our notes. Right? War Chronicle notes. We have new notes here. Secret Tactics, Scroll of Heaven. Cavalry and Hawk Riders are known for their superior mobility. This grants them the ability to move freely across the battlefield, although venturing too far from allies leaves them without support and puts them at risk of a concentrated enemy attack. They should therefore stay close to the main force and utilize their mobility to either flank or get behind enemies who draw near. That actually sounds like good advice. While acting alone can be dangerous, a team of 3 or more cavalry units or Hawk Riders can prove quite advantageous in battle. They can provide much-needed support to each other and actively intercept enemy troops or assail soldiers lurking in the distance. Doing so would separate them from allies with healing magic, so taking recovery pellets would be a must. Interesting. Alone, cavalry units and Hawk Riders are challenging to handle, but their real strength lies in their numbers. So, what is the best way to make use of their exceptional mobility? The question gives insight into a commander's true worth. One must be swift, but never hasty. Speed can be your greatest asset, or your greatest enemy. History of Glenbrook. The Kingdom of Glenbrook is the oldest of the 3 nations existing today. Though there have been changes to the branch families, the blood of the founders still runs strong in the veins of the current king, Regna. The holy state of Hyzant asserts that their nation was founded first according to the goddess scriptures, then that Glenbrook's long history is a fabrication of later generations. Glenbrook has continued to ignore this claim. Ooh, okay, so that's information that's good to know. The Grand Duchy of Aestros was founded by the Archduke's family, who shared a common ancestor with the royal family of Glenbrook. They insisted upon their right to succeed the throne up until the South Iron War began, and denied the current royal family's rule. But when the war began, they acknowledged the family's legitimacy, and the 2 nations formed a secret alliance. It is said that King Regna required the former Archduke Zygmunt to officially recognize his rule in order to enter into an alliance. Oh, so there's a little bit of shadiness there. All right. Development of the Norzelia Consortium. After the Salt Iron War fought over Hyzant's sole ownership of salt, the Norzelia Consortium was established to oversee the equal distribution of salt and iron to the realm. The 3 nations brought together trade specialists to create this neutral and impartial organization as agreed upon in the Accords. The consortium's success in the fair trade contributed greatly to the reconstruction of Norzelia, which had been ravaged by the war. The Kingdom of Glenbrook, rich in agriculture and fisheries, prospered due to the stable influx of salt from the consortium. The people were able to produce large quantities of salted meals, dried fish, dairy products, and more. Exports of these goods helped restore national power. Though it was thought to be the dawn of a new age for Norzelia, Hyzant began to strengthen its voice within the consortium as the reconstruction progressed. In Aestros, on the other hand, the situation could not have been worse. Its already small population suffered the greatest number of casualties during the war. This is interesting, and reviving the iron industry was taking longer than anticipated. To make matters worse, salt prices soared within the duchy due to taxes and transportation fees from the distant Hyzant. Though iron exports were meant to balance salt imports, The nation's labor and the iron shortage caused it to acquire a large trade deficit. Ooh, they're in debt! Though the consortium was meant to adjust that imbalance, it did not take any drastic measures. Rather, it leaned more towards Hyzant and establishing salt as the main axis of trade. Ooh, okay, so that makes sense. There are some who believe that the Hierophant, unable to accept that the war ended in a draw due to the injuries on all sides, had a hand in this, and wished Aesfrost to take responsibility for the war. Though the truth is unknown, it is undeniable that Aesfrost is the only nation at such a major disadvantage. The duchy's dissatisfaction naturally mounted, and the tension, much like the one before the Salt Iron War, began descended upon Norzelia. A concerned King Regna and Simon Wolford then summoned the other nations to participate in a joint mining venture at the Grand Norzelian Mines. Okay, so these are the circumstances of this mining venture. Their aim was not only to ease the tension between the Duchy and Holy State, but also offer support for the former's iron industry, and correct the trade imbalance between both nations. Okay, so the Duchy is actually getting a lot more out of this than it would seem. Because this is basically, they're basically bringing jobs to the Duchy, of Aesfrost to the north. So though they are technologically advanced, they have labor problems, and they can bear they're technologically advanced, but they can't afford salt. This is intriguing. The entire realm watches this new venture with hopeful eyes, praying that it will finally create a much-needed balance between salt and iron and restore the original functions of the Norzelia Consortium. If it succeeds, then perhaps our realm will finally know peace, and the tragedies of the Salt Iron War will be a thing of the past. The Eternal Norzelia River. The Norzelia River has two tributaries with unique properties. The western branch, running from the snowy Norzelian mountains, is filled with water year-round. Although the water levels are now under control, the tributary was once quite turbulent and prone to floods. Many areas with swift currents still remain, however, and prove challenging to inexperienced sailors. Only Aesfrost ships, armed with full knowledge of the river's waters, are able to navigate those currents. The other tributary, stemming from the eastern deserts, flows calmly throughout the gentle sloping of the river. The gentle sloping of the river also allows for easy upstream passage. Water transport flourishes for most of the year, although low water levels in some seasons make the voyage near impossible for large vessels. The two branches converge into a single mighty river at Glenbrook and flow south to the Norzelia Falls. Interesting. Okay, so we learned a little bit about history and geography here. Pay attention, chat. There's gonna be a quiz. All right. Let's see if we can afford some weapons. Welcome, my lord. Have you weapons that need the attention of my hammer? Let me see. We upgraded this one, right? Yes, we did. We did upgrade 2 out of 6. Woof. All right. Let me see. And we upgraded her. What about you, Gila? No stone. We don't have stone. See, I believe you need stone, right? Stone and iron. Huh, interesting. Weapon potency to deal greater damage. Huh. Alright, interesting. Hawkbow. What do you need? You need timber and fiber. Alright, we're gonna upgrade Anna here. Let me see. So she needs stone, right? How many 2 wait, 1 stone and 1 iron. Alright, got it. So we're gonna buy a stone. Oh, wait. Next time, perhaps. You, sell us some stone. I'm gonna purchase that, and you know what? We're gonna purchase some timber as well. Just in case. Still don't have enough from one of these. Oh man, we're gonna be broke. Alright. Alright, Anna. Let me see. Increases speed, increases physical defense, max HP, accuracy. We're gonna increase your damage. Because that will, yeah, that'll help us out tremendously. Alright. How about the tavern? Let's learn about the tavern. Well, if it isn't Lord Serenoa. Wait, this is a spirited. Well, if it isn't Lord Serenoa, welcome to the Encampment Tavern. Wolford soldiers will have a place to relax so long as I'm around, and I plan on sticking with you till the end. Perhaps you ought to consider dropping in for a drink and a chat every so often too, my lord. Tavern. Mental mock battles. You can engage in mental mock battles at the tavern. Each battle is different, so choose the one that best suits your aims. Basic training, pincer attack. The enemy troops are divided into 2 regiments. Think carefully about your approach before deploying. Things will quickly turn sour if you become surrounded, so pay attention to enemy positions. Ooh, we can get fiber from this one. Interesting. Alright, let's give both of these a shot, right? I mean, what could it hurt, really? We've got a long night ahead of us. Decimate the enemy forces, so that means reduce them by 1/10, right? Let me see, unit placement. Deployed units and reserve units. There is a limit to the number of units you may deploy in battle. Units over this threshold go into your reserves and will not participate in battle. Use Y to access the screen where you can change deployed and reserve units. Hey Zach, how's it going? Units that may prove especially helpful in battle are marked recommended. There is no penalty if you do not deploy the recommended units. Let me take a look. Okay. So some of these characters are a little low in experience. We've got to change that. Let's see. Alright, I'm happy with the units that we've got here. And yeah, Zach, how is it? How is everything? Let's see. Alright, begin battle. Commence the battle, yes. The battle begins.
I will end this.
Let's place you here. And end turn.
For victory!
Alright. We'll have him stay there and end turn.
Defeat is not an option.
Alright. We want to hit this guy. Laying strike. Yep, hit him.
There is no mercy on the battlefield. Sloppy.
Alright, we hit him with the cane sword. Let's have her cover the rear. And turn.
Let me show you what.
Oh! Oh, I hope your thumb recovers soon. Alright. Frederica, I want you to cover I'm gonna use you as bait here. And I'm not gonna have you scorch this guy yet. Actually, you know what? We're gonna have you scorch this guy.
2 ashes.
With a plastic plate. Wow, that must have been a sharp-ass plate.
Time to work.
Alright. Anna. It's time to get to work. Wait, throw poison.
Supper.
Alright, so we poisoned that guy. And you know what? Let's use our iron dagger. Yeah, that's right.
For victory!
Hit him with the double thrust. Yeah, we can get him out of the way.
Brace yourself!
We win.
Heck yeah! Hoorah! 2 ashes.
Careful.
Ooh! Critical miss. Oh dang! Why were you labbing Guilty Gear combos with a thumb that had been sliced? Terrain effects frozen. Causing an ice attack on a freezable square will freeze it. Though there are exceptions to this rule, squares that are frozen reduce the mobility and accuracy of any unit standing upon them. Frozen tiles can be melted by fire attacks, though there are exceptions. Ha ha! Double thrust. Ah, you wanted to try it out. You couldn't wait until you were healed, huh? I guess that makes sense.
Forward!
Let's see. You know what? Just hit him.
Perish.
My stratagem is superior.
Heck yeah!
I shall do what I can.
Alright, Gila. No one's really taken any damage. You know what? Just smack this guy. Yeah. I understand. You know what? Let's just smack this guy in the back. real quick.
Very well. That hit the mark.
I shall try my level best.
Let me see. Hit him with the cane sword.
My turn. That seemed to work. My knowledge grows deeper.
All right.
Allow me.
You know what? There is opportunity here. Show him a hot time.
With the powers in me, we can win
Woo! Disco Inferno, baby. Oh no! That should have been an attack of opportunity. That's odd. Alright, Anna. We're gonna give this guy the business. Or should we give this guy the business? His turn comes up sooner. So you know what?
It's over.
Hit him with the dagger.
Leave it to me.
For life.
Heck yeah.
For victory.
Huh. You know what? We're gonna set up a pincer here. We're gonna set up two pincers. We're gonna give it to him from both sides. Double thrust or
Yeah. Defeat is not an option.
All right, Roland. Show him the old wobbly H. Let's give him a delaying strike. It's not gonna kill him. It'll just pepper him up real nice.
I'll make this quick. That hit the mark. What have we here?
Let us pry out their weakness.
Frederica, let's show him a good time.
Your defense is just as I planned.
My turn.
That's right, smack him with that book.
Cool heads shall prevail.
Who needs the healing more? Frederica. Yeah. Hey, you know, you don't have to be on Twitch to play fighting games. Let's stay here and cure wounds on Frederica.
Allow me.
I can keep fighting.
With clear eyes, I move forward.
Gila learn for those in need. Ooh. Wonder what that does. Let's move her here.
Let me show you what I've learned.
Let's smack this guy with the book. Hit him with the reading rainbow.
My stratagem is superior.
Heck yeah!
Time to work.
Oh, this guy's gonna get it. This guy is gonna get it.
It's over.
Victory! Results. Kudos obtained 8. Oh, we earned a fiber too. Interesting. Coin obtained 140. Don't be a stranger. Alright. Let me see. We've done that one. Let's get this one. Let's get this one done. So we're earning some fiber and some coin, which is good. And fiber, coin, and kudos. Commence the mental mock battle? Yes. I should probably save. The more I think about it. System save. Let me see. There we go. Whither the river flows. Got it. Alright, so we are beset upon by on both sides. This side seems to have fewer troops. What is their strength? Level 3, level 3, level 3, level 3. Alright. Let's see. Who do we want to replace? I want to replace Benedict. Unit placement. Oh, wait. No. Select units to deploy. Alright, Benedict, you're out. Hawkette, you're in.
Let you down.
Let me see. I really don't want to get rid of Anna. And Roland is a little weak. You know what? Roland will become stronger as time progresses. Let's get Eridor in here.
Ready and willing.
Then again, Roland is going to be important to flanking maneuvers. You know what? I'm sorry, Eridor. You know what? Anna's level 4 as well, but Anna is really important. Geez, I've got a lot of characters that are in need of experience here. Alright. You know what? We'll let this rock. Yeah, let's do this. Pincer attack. The battle begins.
Time to work.
Alright. Right away, we'll probably want to get to work. Yeah, dude played the crack beta for sure. Let's see. Alright, Anna can be attacked here. Let's throw poison at this guy. The Bandit Bruiser.
This'll hurt.
And you know what? We're gonna throw poison at this guy too. Or this guy. We'll throw poison at this guy here.
This'll hurt.
Alright, Frederica. Oh, dang! They are targeting Frederica something fierce!
My turn.
Alright, alright, alright. I see how it is. You know what? We can respect it. We're gonna set up a pincer attack of our own. Roland, hit him with the double thrust.
My lance strikes true. Yes!
Back to back.
The hunt is on.
We're gonna get rid of this archer. Yeah, get rid of him.
Now!
Now!
Ooh yeah. Let's move her. Wait. I'm guessing it's this bandit here. Nope. Which bandit is it? It's not that guy. Alright, let's just move her to take these spoils.
For the honor of House Wolfort.
Alright. Hey, he's gonna show up his back to us. You know, we gotta... delaying strike on this guy? Or... Let's go for the Demi.
On your guard. Ha-ha!
Man, Frederica is in need of some serious healing. Cure wounds on our girl here.
Be at ease. Much appreciated.
Heck yeah.
Allow me.
They have a healer. This does not bode well. But you know what does bode well? It's gonna be a hot time in the town tonight! Do I go for these three or these three? Let's go for these three.
With the powers in me.
Heck yeah! Hoorah!
Your orders?
Oh, this guy is gonna have a bad day. Hit him with the iron dagger.
Sound strike.
What have we here?
You know what? Give him another one.
It's over. Sound strike.
Now!
Heck yeah!
I won't lose.
Alright, what are we gonna do about this guy? This fellow here needs a double thrust.
Brace yourself.
Here I come.
Alright, let's see. Who are we gonna hit? You know what? We're gonna hit this guy. We're gonna take him out of the picture.
This ends now!
What?
Too slow.
You know what? We'll take it. We will take it. You okay, Frederica?
In honor of House Wolfort.
Alright, let's take this guy out.
Perish.
Leave it to me.
We got him.
To lead, I must grow.
Man, he is really after Frederica.
Heal your wounds.
Cure wounds on Frederica. Yes, please.
Your wounds are healed.
You have my gratitude.
Where are we gonna move her? So she can't be back attacked? Alright, that guy got healed. Ooh! Oh no!
At this rate,
Frederica. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. You're going to back up. And we are going to scorch these mofos.
Flames, heed my call.
Time to work.
Let's see. Let's throw some poison here. We can throw poison and remove this guy. That might be wise. Oh, did I get disconnected? Did I get disconnected from chat? I got disconnected from chat. Oh my gosh. Is everything okay? Are we back? Is anyone there? Are we back?
This battle is ours.
Short bow. Hey, glad the bleeding stopped. Let's soften him up for Serenoa. Soften him up for the Serenoa Serenade.
For the honor of House Wolfort.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Perish.
Cool heads shall prevail.
Alright, I need you to cure wounds on Frederica here.
Your wounds are healed.
I can keep fighting.
Alright. Let's get you into the thick.
Let me show you what I've learned.
You know what? And we're gonna end turn here. Spoil secured.
Your orders?
Alright. Iron Dagger. And you know what? I feel like hitting him with another one. Heck yeah!
I won't lose.
Alright, Roland. Hit him with the lance.
Be gone.
Together.
Man, those two make a great team.
The hunt is on.
where shall we strike?
Let's see. Ooh, dang! Almost took his head off there.
I will end this.
You know what, Frederica? End it. Send him to the great fiery beyond.
To ashes.
Hoorah!
I will do what I must.
Frederica learned Flame Sheet. Nice. And we got a fiber from that. Serenoa's convictions have been strengthened. And we got 10 whole kudos from that. Nice. Don't be a stranger. Alright, let's drop a save. Yes. Alright, so we've had a successful battle. So that was the... Let me see. Let's think about this carefully. Wait, what's our money look like? Wait, don't leave the encampment. We only have 490, so we're still really broke. We're still really freaking broke. Is there anything that we can sell that's worth a damn? We have an HP ring, but like, I'd probably better keep that. We need to buy HP recovery pellets, actually. Dang, this is expensive. And now we are officially broke. Let's see. Who required fiber? Ooh, dang. I'd really like to get her upgraded. Oh well. Alright, let's leave the encampment. Oh, I should save. Yeah, we'll live with this decision. So we are broke now. We only have 40 coin to our name, which is a shame because we're supposed to be the rich. We're supposed to be the rich people, kind of. All right, so there's no optional stuff. Let's go ahead and continue the story. Serenoa decides whether his house will make the journey to the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost or the Holy State of Hyzant.
It seems your first test as Lord has come. 'Tis no small matter either.
Indeed, but I needn't face it alone. I would ask each of you where you think we should go and why.
Okay.
State your case before the scales of conviction. Then we shall decide our destination.
Okay, so they really want us to use this mechanic.
We take a vote and the consensus determines our action. Is that it?
That is correct. So long as my allies walk by my side, their opinions carry equal weight to mine.
Interesting.
Such is the way of House Wolford. As Lord, I shall bear the weight of consequence for the Scales' decision, whatsoever they may be.
You are more serious than usual, my friend.
He understands what it means to be Lord of his house.
Well, I hope you have room for a stowaway, because I'm going too.
Wouldn't have it any other way, Roland.
In secret, of course. I trust the new Lord Wolfort will handle the ponderous negotiations and diplomacy with grace.
Your Highness, you cannot be...
You may stay ashore if you wish, Huet.
Though you will be found guilty of dereliction of duty.
You know I cannot allow that. If you insist on going, then I shall attend you.
Well then, it would seem the matter is settled.
There is exactly one coin for each of us.
It seems fate has conspired to bring balance to our proceedings.
Okay.
How curious.
Curious? I see it as a sign that the heavens approve of my joining you.
You are ever the optimist, my friend.
Shall we proceed, my lord? One coin, one vote.
Very well. I would hear each of your thoughts on the matter in turn. Then you shall place your coin upon the scales of conviction
Pardon me.
and illuminate the road ahead.
Alright, so we're going to have to talk to everyone. Let me turn on my back massager here. Aesfrost or Hyzant? Would that we had time to visit both. Although I may not have my own token of conviction, it is my duty to lend an ear to their arguments. Oh, what happened? Why the Zach? An honest exchange of opinions will hopefully lead to a decision that satisfies all who vote. Alright, I already know where I want to go. I want to go... Alright, look, here's the thing. I mentioned this earlier, right? Alright, so, the ship to the Duchy and the ship to Hyzant both have a smoking hot chick on board. However, the ship to the Duchy also has a pair of assholes on board. Right? I plan to go on the ship that has a hot chick and no asshole. Hey, this back massager is probably what's going to keep me streaming for about 4 hours. Well, but yeah, this will hopefully lead to a decision that satisfies all who vote. The path of the story will be determined by the consensus of your party, as played out through voting scenes. Each of your allies will cast their vote according to his or her own convictions. As the player, you will be bound to the decision of the majority. Oh crap! So I've gotta manipulate things. I gotta be sneaky. Before voting commences, you may attempt to persuade the others to change their minds. Whether or not your attempt succeeds will only be revealed when the votes are cast. The strength of Serenoa's convictions will affect the chances of success. Ooh, this is an interesting system. The key to winning over your party is gathering the necessary information beforehand. That information may not always be found in the same room where the votes are cast, so be proactive in talking to everyone you meet on your journey. This is actually a very interesting system, and I hope that it's well fleshed out. Alright, travel to the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost. Let me see. Alright, so 3 of them are for the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost. 3 of them are for travel to the Holy States. Interesting. Alright, let's hear, what does this guard have to say? Prince Frenny and Minister Patriot are waiting to see see off our esteemed guests. They said to ask them if you have any questions on the matter. Okay. Let's talk to Littlefinger here. King Regna expects great things of you, Lord Serenoa. Is there anything I can do to be of service? If there's anything I can do to be of service, simply say the word. I should like to learn more about the holy state of Hyzen. I know they lay claim to the source and thus all of Norzelia's salt. I would like to know more about Frederica's home. Are there any problems I should be aware of? This is I think this is the best question that we can ask. Serenoa's convictions have been Surely you jest, Lord Serenoa. The kingdom is in the capable hands of royalists like myself. Okay, that sounds like a problem I should be aware of. Our home has a long history of prosperous trade that utilizes everything our bountiful land has to offer. There's nothing for the warriors of House Wolford to worry themselves over. But, if I may be so blunt, Prince Roland's whimsical acts of late have been met with disappointment from both King Regna and Prince Franny. I wouldn't call them whimsical, Minister Patriot. Roland is doing everything he can for his kingdom. If this were not a family matter, I should like to ask His Highness myself to conduct himself in a manner more befitting a prince. Alas, this is out of my hands. I am certain you understand the same, Lord Wolford. I would hate for anything to happen should you decide to step in. Are you threatening me? House Wolford has turned its sword on the royal family before, albeit 30 years ago. But in the end, your house joined forces with the kingdom to lead the war to its end, and there are even lauded heroes to this day. But there are some who still harbor their suspicions. I urge you to proceed with the utmost caution. This guy is threatening us. This so-and-so is threatening us. Pray, forgive me. I forget myself sometimes. I hope my foolish ramblings have not clouded your judgment. The decision is yours to make, Lord Serenoa, and I'm sure you will choose most wisely. Alright, and what do you have to say, Franny? Lord Wolford, I know your position as head of your house comes with many responsibilities. But being party to Roland's fancies is not one of them. I hope you understand that. Roland is doing what he can for the kingdom in his own way. As his older brother, I'm sure you can see that. Roland may be a prince, but he is also like a brother to me. I swear to do all I can in service to the crown. I appreciate your concern, and hope that you and I can be friends as well, just like our fathers before us. I like this one better because it gives this guy the impression that we are totally loyal. A brother, you say? You mean to take my place as that fool's older sibling, then? Dang! Dang! Of course not. There's no way I would replace you, Prince Franny. But because you are brothers in truth, it stands to reason that you would bicker like siblings. Perhaps it would be good for the royal family if I were to be a buffer between you two. What a curious man you are to offer to play such a part. Do as you please, but I suggest holding on tightly to his reins if you do. Interesting. So, Anna is undecided. Okay. Who do we talk to first? Alright. Let's talk to, Huette. Where the hell is she? Alright, Huette, talk to me.
Lord Serenoa.
Ace Frost soldiers are said to be among the strongest in all of Norzelia. However, that is only hearsay. I mean to judge them for myself. This one should listen to reason. Let's postpone persuasion here. Wait. You know what? Let's listen. Hyzant has its charms as well, I am sure. But what about it appeals to you, Lemon? Oh yeah, my brother bought this back massager for me during the holidays, and it's really been a help. It has really been a help. Oh jeez, wait. Chat is really slow for some odd reason. Like, that's odd. But okay, we'll let it rock. Let me see. I wish to see how their touted equality works in practice. For now, it is only words to me. It is said the skill of their mages is unequal. Wouldn't you like to test your skill against such warriors? Actually, you know what? Let's try this, because it was locked.
Quite true.
I have heard the same. What magic I have seen is impressive enough. I can scarce imagine what a true master could do. I should like to try my hand against one in mock combat, if able. My bow against their spells.
Okay.
Thank you, my lord. I suppose there may be some merit in visiting Hyzant. Huet is deep in thought. Undecided, alright. Let's see. Roland. You want to visit Aesfrost? Why?
Say.
Doubtless, Aesfrost will be a close partner in the days ahead. It would be wise to see how they live, don't you think? What reasons have you for wanting to visit Hyzant? I just have a feeling. The salt from the source has made them prosperous. I would be interested in seeing how that wealth manifests itself. I would be fascinated to see a society where everyone is truly equal. This, I am interested in this.
Certainly.
Indeed. They say Hyzant is a country without kings or nobles. It is hard to imagine. But why imagine when we could see it with our own eyes? An interesting proposal. I wonder what everyone else thinks. You've given me much to consider, friend. Roland is deep in thought. Alright, Eridor. Where the hell is Eridor? Ah, there he is.
Listen, lad.
Can't very well say Hyzant holds much appeal to me. Sorsley and Exarm are too clever by half. Ah, okay, so he doesn't like the clever folk. Got it. I'm sure the people of Aesfrost will give a warm reception, even if their weather won't. Huh. You know, he's actually kind of right. Ah, you want to go to Hyzant, do you? Care telling me why, my lord? Ministry of Medicine. Sand and Sun must make people of a different sort than here. It would be interesting to meet them. I've long wanted to visit the source. It is the cornerstone of all life in Nozelia, after all. Stories of the miracles performed in the Ministry of Medicine have piqued my interest. Such knowledge could help our soldiers and common folk alike.
You're onto something.
Aye, doubtless we could learn from the minds of the Ministry. Would that we had such gifted healers and mages at our disposal. Might be we could ask them for a book, but I've always been of the mind that the best learning is done through doing.
I've made up my mind.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the matter, my lord. Eridor is deep in thought. Okay, so, let's talk to Anna.
Lord Serenoa.
Aesfrost or Hyzant, it makes no difference to me where you go. I shall follow. Still, I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter, my lord. Aesfrost or Hyzant? I would still be interested to hear your preference. I want to visit Hyzant. They say Hyzant is the nation of salt and sand. You have a reason to go there? Okay, so the Ministry of Medicine. I hear everyone is treated as equals. I would see the truths they claim. I can scarce imagine so much sand. I would like to see it with my own eyes. I wish to see what miracles are performed at the ministry, and learn what kind of magic and medicine enables them. This, I think, is the best answer, because, again, it's unlocked.
Indeed.
I see. I hear the feats performed there beggar belief. Any knowledge we could gain would surely come in handy during times of need. Thank you for sharing, my lord. I see now why you wish to visit Hyzant. Anna is deep in thought. Alright, let's hear why this guy wants to go to Hyzant.
Lord Serenoa.
Benedict. Hyzant's Ministry of Medicine is said to be a beacon of progress in both medicine and magic. I believe we could benefit greatly from seeing the fruits of their knowledge with our own eyes. They will listen at the very least. Postpone persuasion. Alright.
Lord Serenoa.
Until now, Frederica's physician has offered her a few chances to visit Hyzant. Deepening your relationship with the Holy State would doubtless be to your benefit as well. Why not use this opportunity to let Frederica realize a long-held wish in the meantime? Okay. Postpone persuasion. Okay. And Frederica, what about you?
Serenoa.
I've always wondered when I might visit the country where my mother was born. How did she spend her youth? I would very much like to see. Okay, so the lady wants to go to Hyzant. You know what? What the lady wants, the lady shall have. Let's see. Alright. Let's commence the vote. We have 3 in favor of Hyzant, 4 undecided. So there's going to be a swing vote, I wager. End persuasion and commence voting? Yes. We're going on the boat with a hottie and no asshole. Voting.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we journey to the Grand Duchy of Esfrost, or the Holy State of Hyzant? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
You've convinced me.
If that is your wish, then so be it. Hyzant is just as good as Esfrost.
You have my vote.
Where my lord goes, I follow.
I changed my mind.
Hyzant has its charms, I admit. Charms I mean to see for myself. We go into the desert.
Forgive me, lad.
I've been wanting to visit Acefrost for a while.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Travel to the Grand Duchy of Acefrost. Travel to the Holy State of Hyzant. Oh dang, Eredor is the odd man out. Okay. Alright. We're going to the Desert Vatican.
The way forward is decided. We journey to Hyzant.
Serenoa's convictions have been strengthened.
We have decided. We set sail for the Holy State of Hyzant. Whether or not it proves to be the right choice will depend on our actions. I trust in you all.
We are ready to set sail, Lord Patriot.
Very good, my lord. When you pay respects to the Holy One and the Saintly Seven, remember that you do so on behalf of our king.
It's our first day as Lord, and already we're acting on behalf of the king. Oh boy.
Lord Serenoa, we are honored that you would choose to grace our nation with your presence.
Her. This is why we're going to Hyzen. Her. She is smoking hot. The Minister of Medicine. Hopefully she can minister to a couple of other things. You can't see me wiggling my eyebrows, but like, imagine it.
That said, I must offer you a warning as well.
It may be in Lady Frederica's best interests to remain here in Glenbrook.
Oh.
I fear there may be some complications were she to come to Hyzant.
Oh my god, they're racists. Or, wait, would it be racism or something else? I don't know.
She is half-sister to the Archduke and my betrothed besides. What complications could there possibly be?
None, if I had any say in it. However, the matter is more delicate than that.
Oh my gosh, I've taken my wife to a nation full of racists. I'm taking my wife to a nation of racists. Oh no. Wait a second, and the main character is supposed to be married, and I'm going there because of the hot chick. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. This is terrible. I'm going to hell. I'm going to the Holy Land so that I can go to hell.
Your lady's hair will draw attention. Unfortunately, none of it favorable.
My mother's hair. The pink locks of the Roselle. Mother once told me of how her people fled Hyzant.
Oh crap. I convinced my wife. Wait, no, she wanted to go in the first place. Wait, never mind. I was about to say, oh no. I manipulated my wife into going into it. I manipulated my wife into going to a clan, into a nation that's just one big clan meeting. Oh, I was about to, but no, she wanted to go herself. I didn't convince her or nothing. That's not on me. That's not on me.
Then you know how the Roselle are viewed in our nation. How the gospel of the goddess regards them as sinners.
Oh crap. Oh crap. So it's one of those deals. So it's not even racism per se. It's just that it's just dogma. That's difficult. Wait, then why are these three cool?
Yes, I do. But I am from Esfrost, and I assure you I have committed no sins.
Or at least not yet. And then she nudges Serenoa and nudges Serenoa with that. Oh.
Of course, my lady. Very well then. I will do all in my power to see your visit is a pleasant one.
Thank you, hot woman. Lila. Lila is her name. I should address her by name. But yeah, why are those three cool?
Thank you.
Probably because they've been around.
You've no need to apologize. Still, I must ask, are you certain?
I must go. I would see with my own eyes.
I've got to see the prejudice with my own eyes. I've got to know.
See where and how my mother and her people suffered.
Dang. Whither the river flows completed. Save your game. Save the freaking game. All right.
By order of King Regna, Serenoa escorts their esteemed guests back home, beyond the forest and over the mountains to a vast sand-swept land. Before long, a grand wall of stone rises before them. Known as the Goddess's Shield, behind it lies the source, Nozelia's only supply of salt.
So they're sitting on a great salt lake. Oh my gosh, we've gone to Salt Lake City. Yes, we take the openly racist assholes out back and beat them. But the closeted racist assholes are the ones we listen to that say that. They just enjoy watching somebody get their ass beat. Oh gosh. Huh. What emote is that? I'm gonna have to take a look at it. Give me a moment. Ah, Captain America. I'm sure you're not a closet racist, Zach. At least I hope you're not a closet racist.
Upon the lake shores of the source towers a giant likeness of the goddess, ever watching over the flourishing city and the palace below. This is the holy state of Hyzant.
The land of sand and sun. What kind of crazy battles are we gonna get up to here? Oh, we might wind up beating some racists.
I had heard tales of the goddess's shield, but its grandeur surpasses even my imagination.
Everyone has bad moments, Zach, so you don't got nothing to feel guilty about, man. I mean, like, everybody does. And if you say that you don't, you're obviously lying. Like, everyone was a kid once.
It protected the holy state from both Glenbrook and Esfrost during the war.
Oh, dang. So this wall is going to be a problem.
None in history have succeeded in breaching it. Do you think you might fare better, Lord Serenoa?
Give me 20 good men.
I think penetrating these walls would be nigh impossible.
A most courteous answer. I should have expected as much.
Dang, that door is made of gold. I believe you. I believe you.
What's that sound?
Oh, she's on edge. She is on pins and needles. Is that the racist alarm?
Could this be?
Is this the hour of worship I've heard so much about?
Ah, okay, so it's not the racist alarm.
Indeed. Hyzantians offer their prayers up to the goddess's statue every day. They thank her for her blessing, for bestowing us with the source, from which all Norzalia's salt is harvested.
Man, these are some rich religious people. Ah, man. A little worried.
To see every citizen pray is astonishing.
The goddess truly is at the center of all Hyzant, just as the stories say.
Wait a second. Why aren't you three praying?
Even so, are there none who'd use this time of worship to rob their fellow citizens?
Yeah, Zach. Now that's a good question. Like that would actually be a prime time to stage a heist.
There are none so misguided among the goddess's believers.
All Hyzantians are guaranteed food, clothing, and shelter.
Oh my God, they have
done everything in its power to eliminate poverty and ensure equality.
They have UBI. They have UBI. They have universal basic income. Yo, this place is lit. Well, except for the racism. But this place is lit. Yo, I would legit put up with some racism for UBI. Okay, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put up with racism for UBI. But I'd consider it. They got UBI, bro.
As a result, no one envies others or craves riches for selfish reasons.
Oh, dang. Yo, these guys. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Zach. Like, ooh, like this place would be perfect if they weren't so prejudiced against people with pink hair, right?
Certainly, if everyone were equal, there would be naught to fight about.
And that probably leads to a very well organized military. The more I think about it, a very well organized, like, yeah, these guys are actually something to fear.
But achieving absolute equality is impossible.
The words of an unbeliever. The goddess showers her blessings fairly upon all who follow her teachings.
Maybe we can beat the racism out of these people and improve this place, and then take what they've got back to our own place and like give everybody UBI or something like that. Wait, but we need the resources for that. And Glenbrook isn't known for any particular resource. So yeah, that's not necessarily possible, sadly. You can't meet the goddess, but you can meet the Hierophant.
Before we visit the Hierophant, there is one thing I must tell you about Lady Frederica.
Under normal circumstances, the head of our nation would not permit an audience with one of Rosellan extract.
Okay, so that's the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the one in charge.
We have explained the circumstances, however. And she has been granted special permission to enter the palace as an envoy.
Oh, sweet. That actually works out.
That said, we would ask that Lady Frederica remain silent before the Holy One.
Wait, what? Say what? Oh no. Oh no. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt here and say that progress is measured in inches, not yards. You know, this is actually pretty big for them. You know, where they could just say, "Hey, she has to wait outside." You know, they could do that, but they're like, "Okay, she can come in, but she's just got to be quiet." Now that's not good, but like it's much better than what we would have expected. You know what I mean?
Silent. Why?
I reiterate that typically she would not be so much as allowed to attend. We ask for your understanding of our creed.
Yeah, it's one of those deals. Oh, dang. That's bad, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Yo, that's how you show 'em. That's how you show 'em.
You mean to treat one of Glenbrook's delegates as if she weren't even there?
Calm down, Roland.
Prince Roland, you are here in secret. It would not do for you to gainsay another nation's religious creed.
Dang. You know what? I like Frederica. You know, I like her. She seems like really good wife material.
I have no objections.
My apologies.
You needn't apologize. Let us do what we came here for.
You know what? She's a good one. Wait,
we appreciate your understanding.
That statement is a little sus.
Let us show you to the palace.
But you know what I mean. Like she's all right. Hierophant's Palace, Throne Room. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the Saintly 7. Frederica.
That is where the Hierophant resides.
The Hierophant imparts us with the goddess's divine messages.
Oh, okay, so he spends most of his day behind a veil. I think I know what he's doing behind that veil, especially with Lila around.
None are allowed to look upon the Holy One's face. None save Minister Edor, who conveys their divine words to us.
Wait a second. How do we know that the Hierophant is still alive? Wait, let's take a look at this guy. Oh, dang, this guy looks fearsome. Saintly 7, Minister of Domestic Affairs. Oh my God, this guy is the DHS. He's the Department of Homeland Security. The Saintly 7's Minister of Domestic Affairs. He manages all matters related to the nation's public order. So how do we know that the Hierophant is even alive, or that what he says is what this Minister Idor says?
Pardon our intrusion. Lord Serenoa Wolfort of Glenbrook has escorted us home on behalf of King Regna.
The Hierophant. The Hierophant. Leader of the Saintly Seven and Oracle of the Goddess, little else is known about the Hierophant, whose true form is shrouded in mystery. Ooh. Ooh, this is interesting.
The Hierophant speaks to you.
Okay, so Edor is an old guy. Edor Del Mira, one of the Saintly Seven and the only one permitted to hear the voice of the Hierophant. Saintly Seven, Minister of Religion.
Serenoa Walford, we thank you for your gracious gesture. We are overjoyed and humbled that you have chosen to grace our nation with your presence.
It's my first day as a lord.
I am unworthy of such high praise, but honored nonetheless.
You don't have to yell. The Hierophant can hear.
House Walford and Hyzant have shared a deep bond ever since the Sultan War. On behalf of the Saintly Seven, it is my wish that our friendship will be as strong as it was with your Lord Father.
But of course, I strive to one day measure up to his greatness.
The Hierophant speaks once more.
You will also, in time, succeed Lord Simon as advisor to the mining venture, I hear.
Wait, what? This is the... Oh, right. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was about to say... this is the first I've heard of it. But no, it's not the first I've heard of it. Like, that's the... that's something I'm actually supposed to do.
The Hierophant would hear your true thoughts on the endeavor.
Ooh, I gotta make a choice. I think it a significant stepping stone toward the peace between the three nations. I think it a valuable endeavor that will fairly profit everyone. I fear the intentions of the three nations are not aligned. I sense a storm is brewing on the horizon. You know what? Alright, what do you guys think? Because I'm inclined to... Well, alright, here's the thing. This is interesting. Because, like, there are three different... These are, like, wildly different. Right? This sounds like utility. This sounds like unity. And this sounds like freedom. Right? But the more I understand about this joint mining venture, the more I think that number 3 is what I would act. Number 3 is what I actually think. But is it wise to let the ruler of another nation know exactly what I think about that? That's the question. And I know I may be drastically overthinking this, but this is just a matter of fact statement, right? Like, what do you think, Zach? Knight, what do you guys think about this? Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, Alright, so, I'm leaning towards number 3 here. I fear the intentions of the three nations are not aligned. I sense a storm is brewing on the horizon. Right? That's what I personally think. But sometimes it's not advantageous, especially if you are talking to the leader of another nation, to say exactly what you think. Because saying something like that could put ideas in their head. They're like, well, these people don't trust me anyway. So, they're already expecting some form of betrayal. Let's just go ahead and do it. We'll find a way to cut them out. Number 1 is horribly naive. right? I'll look like an idiot if I say this, right? Nobody really cares about none of these. We're talking to the leader of a nation, right? He doesn't care about peace, right? He just wants his profit. You know what, Zach? That is good advice. That is very, very good advice. Yeah, I think going with the utility route is probably best for this prompt. Because yeah, this is what I'm thinking. But I shouldn't let him know that's what I'm thinking. Now, granted, saying this will make me look like a money grubber. And right now I'm like kind of flat broke in the game. So yeah, but like this is the most neutral response. Let's go with number 2. Serenoa's convictions have been strengthened.
A valuable endeavor that will fairly profit everyone.
Certainly. The Holy One shares your opinion.
Do they? Hey, Knight, keep hanging in there, bro.
If benefit spreads evenly throughout the land, peace and happiness will follow.
Now notice, he didn't say when, he said if. That's intriguing.
And yet creating an equal society that all will accept is no easy task.
Ooh, this is good.
That difficulty is precisely what makes it worth doing. Together, let us bring true peace to Norzelia.
Ooh, this is good.
The goddess always watches over those who believe in her. May you all receive her divine protection.
I apologize for visiting you in secret, but there is something I must ask you.
I hear you, Knight, but like, I don't know. I don't think peace is the objective of that venture, of the joint mining venture. Peace is Peace is basically kind of like a byproduct that puts a shiny fresh shiny fresh face of paint on it. Like really, it's just about the money. But I hear you. You know, but like the main problem I have with one is that with the first option is that it would make my character seem like a very naive person, right? I am right now the lord of a house, right? I am here to do business. And since I am here to do business, I must be about business. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like it's messaging to someone who already knows the score, right? The messaging for that, I see what you're saying, and in some instance I agree. But like this isn't necessarily an ass-kissing mission, right? We are here on behalf of the king. The king would not like to, when we get back, the king would not like to hear that he has fecal matter on his lips. Our words are also the words of the king. Not to the right, not to the left, but right down the middle. Believe me, the king would care. I am here as a representative.
I have heard that the people of Hyzant live in equality.
Oh no, Roland! No! Roland! No! Not like this, bro! Not like this! Bro, not like this, no!
They say the goddess showers blessings upon those who follow her teachings. But is that the only reason?
Bro, no! This is not the place for that! Roland! Get him out of here! Remove him from this room! Bro, this isn't the place!
Oh, a studious one you are, Prince Roland. King Regna has raised you well.
Oh no, not like this. Yeah, it is all about image. Right? And not only that, but it's also about how you will be remembered. You want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as the guy who went all the way over to Hyzant and kissed the Hierophant's butt? No, you don't want to be remembered as that guy. You don't want to be remembered as the guy who made the king of Glenbrook a bitch-made loser. You don't want to be that guy.
Of course, the goddess's teachings are at the core of the equality our citizens enjoy.
Okay, maybe this wasn't a bad question, but I fear that this question is leading somewhere, and I don't like it.
But there are many measures taken by the Holy State to ensure the happiness of our people.
Minister Lila's Ministry of Medicine, which dedicates itself to the study of preserving life, is another example of this.
You know, considering the, alright, here's the thing, right? They're actually taking this very well, considering the undercurrent of what Roland asked. Because I get the feeling, I was afraid that he was going to ask about the pink-haired people. And... yeah, well, you know, right? That would be bad.
The results of their research have allowed many people to overcome illness and injury and live long, healthy lives.
Fascinating. I would like to hear more about Hyzant's medical discoveries.
I see we managed to pique your interest. Minister Lila, I leave our guests in your capable hands.
Yes!
Pray, show them around the ministry, and let them admire Hyzant's pursuit of life and magic.
Alright, is there any optional stuff? Anything Ooh, yes! Yes! There is optional stuff. Okay. Let's drop a save real quick, and then we'll take a look at this optional stuff. Save. Alright, Whiteholm Castle. Franny and Cordelia talk about their brother, Roland, in his absence. Ooh, this is gonna be juicy.
Brother, where is Roland? I've yet to see him today.
He flew the coop.
And you shan't, for he has left. Took it upon himself to join the mission abroad.
He did? I see.
Again, prioritizing his personal wishes above his station. Is there no end to his selfishness?
He's out there learning. So, like, in a way, he is serving his country.
You haven't any love for him, have you?
I think he's hard on his brother because he loves him. It's one of those kinds of deals. Methinks.
Love. I would rather think of him as little as humanly possible.
I think this is just a facade he puts up, honestly.
How can you say that? He's family.
Royal family, and our duty is to the crown above all. Do not look to Roland for inspiration if you wish to carry yourself in a manner befitting your station, dear Cordelia.
Alright, first of all, this guy... Alright, first of all, Roland doesn't... He's the youngest. He doesn't really have any, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not in line for the throne, or he's not in line for anything, really. So I kind of understand where Roland is coming from. I think he could stand to, like, dial it back a bit, but, like, there's really not much for him to do. I mean, like, if he didn't go, he'd just be sitting there with Franny here, treating him like a bitch for no reason. Like, he doesn't have any particular responsibilities or anything like that, I mean, like, I wouldn't say just let the guy do what he wants, but in this case, he's learning stuff that could be beneficial to the country, And should anything happen to Franny, or King Regna, or even Cordelia here, like, having a guy who knows something about the circumstances outside of his country could be a huge boon. Alright, so, let's drop a save real quick. Alright, and let's go ahead and let's equip him with some accessories, shall we? You know what? Let's give Frederica the HP ring. Increases match HP by 10, since she seems to take a lot of hits. Flame shield, blazing chains. Wait. Let's take a look at our. You see a passive skill increases accuracy and damage dealt by follow-up attacks. Ooh, okay, that makes sense. Hawk Dive is learned in the next level. That would be nice. Counter stance learned at level 7. Let's see. Bird of Prey learned at level 5. Blazing Chains learned at level 7. Take Cover learned at level 6. Rush learned at level 4. Okay, so this guy is kind of tough to level. Gila, Haste learned at level 6. Ooh, Haste looks like it's gonna be good. This is a passive skill. grants additional HP to allies at 50% or less of their maximum HP when using health restoring commands. That's good. Let me see. Blinding Arrow, Fell Swoop learned at level 5. And Shadow Stitching Arrow learned at level 10. And what about this guy? Ooh, he's being left behind. I don't like that. Steelback learned at level 5. Alright, we saved. Let's take a look at this. House Wolford is invited to the Ministry of Medicine, though Frederica cannot help but feel less than welcome in their midst.
Look, a Rosellan. I heard she's an envoy from Glenbrook.
Be that as it may, is her kind even allowed to enter our halls?
Plinius, huh? Plinius Navest, a researcher at Hyzant's Ministry of Medicine. He feels frustration at not being able to choose his own research topics. Oh, dang.
I can only assume she received special permission, since Minister Lila's showing her around.
Ironic, considering the wishes of us researchers are hardly ever granted.
Oh wow, this guy is a jerk.
Having outsiders view our work is unprecedented.
Wait a second. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait a second. These guys also have free healthcare. Yo. And we're dropping frames. But yeah, these guys also, so they have universal basic income and free healthcare. Bro.
We cannot thank you enough for your generosity.
If I heard correctly, it sounds like you are researching life itself.
That we are. In order to cure illnesses and injuries, we must set our sights high.
Ooh.
Even illnesses deemed uncurable in other nations?
There is no miracle panacea in this world, but we like to think nothing is impossible.
Wonderful. And would you be willing to share those results with others, should you achieve them?
That's a good question, Benedict.
If you believe in the goddess's teachings, yes. At least, that is what I would expect the Holy One to say.
Minister Lila, the preparations for the experiment are complete.
Reticent researcher. Experiment.
My apologies, but I must get back to work. You are free to take a look around. However, I ask you to not enter the restricted areas.
Okay, so there's obviously some dirt going on. Man, why'd these guys have to be racist? This seems like it would be a pretty cool place to live if not for the racism. You know, they've got they've got universal basic income, they've got free healthcare. Like, dude, this is actually, like, but they're prejudiced against Rosellans.
Of course, nothing is free in the Ministry, nor anywhere in Hyzant.
Hmm.
And of course, when people are forced to adhere to teachings, there are some who will resist.
Oh crap! Wait a second. What I'm hearing here is that hey, bro, there's an underground resistance. Yo, I'm sick of waking up on Sunday and going to church in the morning because everybody else goes to church in the morning. Sometimes I want to sleep in. Look, keep it on the low. We're going to overthrow our government. Because I'm sick of waking up at 6 a.m. to go to church at 8 a.m. and stay there. And stay there until like 5 p.m. Bro, I'm sick of this. I want to stay home on Sunday and watch cartoons.
Who might you be?
Whom indeed?
Just a researcher, nothing more.
Oh no. And no food. No food unless it's a special occasion.
What was his problem?
Bro, what do you mean what was his problem? Bro, you don't get it. Like everything seems hunky-dory on the surface. But this is interesting. I like this game.
Sir Noah, I could use some fresh air, if you don't mind.
Are they experimenting on Rosellans?
But of course. Let us take a break outside.
How are you faring, Frederica? Better than before, thank you, but I should like to rest in the shade for a spell. Because that would be changing money in a temple. It's weird, right? The reason why a lot of churches don't have vending machines is because that would be kind of the same as that incident where Christ beat the merchants in the temple. Because actually that is interesting, because I went to a church that did have vending machines, but they weren't in a place that you could easily access. They were basically right outside of the kitchen. So yeah, but like most churches don't have vending machines, and that's part of the reason. Better than before, thank you. I should like to rest in the shade for a spell. But of course, rest as long as you like. I should take a moment to get to know the city. Ooh! Some merchants are open for business during the exploration phase, and may be selling rare items you'll not find at the provisioner in the encampment. It would be wise to speak with any shopkeepers you meet. Aw man, and I'm broke. Right, let's drop a save real quick. Wait, how many? Okay, so we only have 10. But yeah, growing up, I went to a Baptist church. Well, yeah. Alright. We've got a system. Obtained HP recovery pellet. Alright. We've got to. Wait, how much gold do we have? We only have 40. Oh dear. Alright, so. Let's talk to this guy. It's rare for foreign dignitaries to be allowed into the ministry. Take your time looking around. Do you wish to enter the Ministry of Medicine? Yeah, wait. Yeah. This is the explorations phase still, right? Yes, it is. Alright, let's talk to this guy. The goddess saves all who believe in her. We research so that we may aid her to that end. They claim their city is peaceful, but there are soldiers aplenty in the streets and ministry. It really makes one wonder. Ice amulet. Ooh. What do we got here? Ice stone. Ooh. What does this guy have to say? The ministry's research helps save lives, and I'm proud to be a part of that. And what do you got to say? It's locked. That area is off limits. Only those with permission can enter. This is as far as you go. Only those with the goddess's permission can enter. Researchers are highly respected in Hyzant. The ministry is a symbol of our nation's knowledge and a source of the people's pride. It is our honor to help the sick and injured. The study of life fascinates me so. We may even unlock the secret to immortality someday. Huh. Interesting. 600 gold. Woo, we're not completely broke. Hooray! Alright, what do we got over here? Researchers immerse themselves in whatever the goddess bids them study. Devoting our time to those studies is what brings us the greatest joy. This area is off limits. There are more delicate matters being researched up ahead. As such, I'll ask you to turn back. But of course. What do you got to say, Benedict? The goddess's teachings unite the people. They are what govern this nation. Perhaps there is something to be learned in all this. You know, when he says that, I kind of think of Robert's speech from Game of Thrones. Which is more powerful, 5 or 1? And then, like, Cersei said something, well, obviously 5. And then he reiterated, which is more powerful, 5? He presented a palm with the fingers outstretched, or 1? He presented a fist. And that's kind of what that reminds me of. Yes. Alright, so we talked to everyone there. This is just between you and me, but not everyone is happy with the Hierophant. Though I honestly don't understand why. Interesting. Hyzant is a wonderful city. Please enjoy your time here to your heart's content. However, I ask that you not interrupt Minister Sorsley's work. And please, stay away from the source. Ah, that's a matter of security. Who is this guy? Sorsley. As one of the Saintly Seven, I manage the... This guy looks like Bald Bull. I manage the production and shipment of salt. That is to say, I single-handedly bear the burden of Hyzant's finances. Look at this guy. He's iced out. I can only imagine I was bestowed with such a venerable position in recognition of my unwavering faith to the goddess. Minister Sorsley oversees all Hyzant's dealings in salt, the foundation of their nation's wealth. It is a crucial job, even among the saintly seven. You learned about Sorsley's responsibilities. I must ask you to turn back. The source is just ahead, but you'll have to turn back. Only those with proper permission can enter. Patrol around the source is always tight. You cannot pass through here. Right, let's look for any shinies in the vicinity. Hey, there's a cat. Huet. From the source to the shield and the thriving city between them, I can scarcely decide what has me most impressed. I can only imagine the people here feel the same way, judging by the smiles on their faces. No seedy back alleys for me, it seems. What do you have to say? Wait, what is that? Was that a shiny? It was. HP recovery pellet. Nice. Have you seen the great big wall around the city? That's called the Goddess's Shield. It protects us and the Celt from any who would do us harm. Alright, we've got a merchant here. Welcome. How can I be of service today? What do you got? We can afford something! Ooh! An oil jug. There's this selected square flammable. Ooh! Ice Stone. Deals ice-type magic damage to a single enemy. Oh, man. Let's see. Consumables. Material. Ooh, material. The consumables are the only interesting things here. You know what? I'm gonna buy a jug of oil or two. Let's buy a single jug of oil. I await your next visit. Hyzant is a blessed nation, where everyone lives in peace. But if you happen to see anyone suspicious, be sure to alert the nearest sentry. Why are they on the lookouts for someone suspicious? If this nation is as unified as you like to present itself as they like to present it as being. Did I just see a shiny? I did. Timber. Nice. The goddess is on our side. Should another war rise, I know she would ensure the lowly state's victory. Right, what's Roland got to say about what he's seen here? The goddess's teachings condemn Roselle to back-breaking labor at the source to atone for the crimes of her forebears. I know it is the way of their nation, and yet it doesn't sit well with me. Pray, take care of Lady Frederica. I've no doubt this weighs heaviest upon her. What is this place? Oh crap, I forgot to check houses. Obtained ice stone. Nice. Obtained nice stone. Added Marvels of Norzelia, Volume 3 to notes. Ooh, let's check that out right away. Positioned on a branch of an eastern tributary to the Norzelia River, Wolfert Harbor enjoys prosperity as a stop among the trade route between the three great nations of the realm. It served a second purpose of protecting Castle Wolford during the Salt Iron War, but after the conflict ended, Lord Simon reformed it into a port. Now, one would be hard-pressed to see any signs of the military fortress it once was. That said, it is still a valuable strategic location, since it is the closest settlement in the Glenbrook, to... take your time, Zach. Since it is the closest settlement in Glenbrook to the Byzantian border. As a bit of an aside, the tributary upon which Wolford Harbor sits is also home to rare species of fish, the Wolford char. They are absolutely exquisite when fried. If you ever find yourself in the domain when they are in season, I highly recommend sampling this delicacy for yourself. Ooh, it sounds like some catfish or something. Any other shinies? Nope, not here. Alright, so we've been inside that building. It must be nice having freedom to roam about another's nation. Wait, what? This is a ministry official? The source? Sorry, I can't say I know much about it. It is a secret place that a select few are allowed to enter. Uh-oh. They don't want us to see the... They don't want us to see the dirt. They don't want us to see the dirt. Any shinies in here? None? Really? What does this person have to say? The goddess decides what those at the Ministry of Medicine should study, so they do not squander their time pondering it themselves. Wait, did I gain any new information here? Ah, I did. Sorsley Inn, one of the Saintly Seven, has been entrusted by the Hierophant with overseeing the foundation upon which Hyzen's economy is built, salt production. Oh, hey. No shinies, just a person to talk to. It's thanks to the Hierophant that we want for nothing. Well, that was informative. This home is boarded up. Alright, and we entered that one. And that one is boarded up as well. And we spoke to this guy, right? Yes, we spoke to that guy. Spoke to this guy as well, right? Interesting. Alright, what do you have to say, Eridor? Could the streets really be that safe in a city this wealthy? I wish I could say the same of Glenbrook. Speaking of which, we should get ourselves some souvenirs before we head home. Sure your father'd be happy to know you thought of it. In Hyzant, the goddess's teachings determine where you work. Even at the Ministry of Medicine, you are only allowed to research subjects decided by the goddess, though I cannot deny the significance of their results. Yo, they got UBI and free healthcare, bro. They winning. Oh, okay. Alright, so I kind of, wait, let's check back in here. Yes. Perhaps it is peaceful because there are soldiers in the streets. See any shinies? We've spoken to everyone in here. Alright, let's talk to the exclamation points. Let us speak to the exclamation points. Oh man. Ugh. Let me get myself a little bit of swig of water here. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Let's talk to this guy here. Everyone in Hyzant knows the goddess's teachings. Obey the teachings and serve your nation, and you shall receive the goddess's blessing. It is not wealth that drives Hyzant, but the faith and happiness of her people. We cannot ignore wealth's importance in the equation. How has the holy state achieved such balance? It seems idealistic to think a nation can be built on faith alone. If the people are left dissatisfied, will their faith not waver? What is it that brings the people such happiness? I thought the answer differed for everyone. These are all really good questions, and I would like to ask them all. How is the Holy State... These are all really good questions. Dang! I can only ask one of these. Alright, chat. Which of these questions seems like the best one to ask? Like, this is a toughie. This is a toughie. Because these are all really good questions. Alright, freedom, utility, unity. So this is the unity response, this is the utility response, and this is the freedom response. I'm really leaning towards the second question. Because there's obviously a greater secret here. And I fear I already know the answer to it. But like, yeah, I think I might already know the answer. But like, which of these questions is the best one to ask? Right, let's take a look at the log. Everyone in Hyzant knows the goddess's teachings. Obey the teachings and serve your nation. You shall receive the goddess's blessing. It is not wealth that drives Hyzant, but the faith and happiness of her people. Yeah, one or two. These are the... Well, I have a feeling I know how this question is answered. It's because they have Rosellan slaves working the salt lake. Let's ask number 2. Knight, I think you're onto something. Number 2 might be the best one to ask. Serenoa's convictions have been strengthened. There is no one who is free of desire. If those desires are not met, it is only natural that the people would become dissatisfied, no? What is Hyzant doing to address such dissatisfaction? We didn't do anything. You need only take a look around to see. There are no needs or desires left unmet here. I don't know about that. Like, you have a researcher in there who doesn't like being told what to research. You have 2 researchers in there who don't like being told what to research. You have 2 researchers in there who don't like being told what to research. One of them doesn't like waking up on Sunday to go to church in the morning. Every week. He wants to sit in, he wants to sleep in, and he wants to watch cartoons. I know that Aesfrost and Glenbrook still struggle with poverty and corruption. But here in Hyzant, things are different. The goddess leaves none of her followers wanting. Alright, here's the thing, right? They have UBI, they have free healthcare. These citizens seem to have remarkable means for surviving, but the means of their survival kind of seems to mean that they don't really get to live, if you get my drift. Like, I'm willing to bet that like alcohol, gambling, etc. Are like severely restricted and or regulated. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if public drunkenness gets you some like obscene penalty, right? Likewise, it's a holy state. Like, that would only make sense. I don't know of a single religion on this planet that encourages people to get drunk off their ass. I just don't. You know what I mean? I see. Thank you, Minister. Do the Saintly Seven have the people completely under their thumb? You learned about the Saintly Seven of Hyzant. You see, the Saintly Seven of Hyzant. The Saintly Seven govern all aspects of life in the Holy State, from the military to the economy. Led by the Hierophant, each saint assumes a specific responsibility and holds great sway on both domestic and foreign affairs. They are beloved by the people as representatives of the faithful. Okay, so, people like the Saintly Seven, they don't like waking up on Sunday to go to church. Frederica, I always knew that the goddess and her followers looked upon Roselle with disdain, yet I cannot help but worry for my people. The sins they atone for are not their own. One cannot help but wonder why they must continue to pay for them. This has less to do with the goddess's teaching than it does producing salt. It makes me wonder why other citizens do not labor at the source. That's a good question. I find it difficult to understand why, in this nation that touts equality, the Roselle must suffer such discrimination. You know what? I'm talking to the wife. I gotta keep it plain, right? I gotta keep it real, right? This has less to do with the goddess's teachings than it does producing salt. They don't give a crap about the goddess's teachings, right? Basically, it is advantageous for them to have an underclass, because they can use this underclass to mine their salt and use that for money. Basically, they're getting rich off of slave labor. Serenoa's convictions have been strengthened. You mean to say the teachings ignore efficiency and profits? This nation was built upon their profit from salt. The source is a sacred place, and yet only the Roselle are forced to labor away there. Hyacinth has already accumulated sufficient wealth off their salt taxes. I doubt there are any who wish for more in exchange for such painstaking work. What is it that makes people so happy here? I wish I knew. Alright, I think I've spoken to everyone. I've spoken to Eridor, I've spoken to Gila, I've spoken to Huette, I've spoken to Roland, I've spoken to Anna, I've spoken to Benedict. I've spoken to all of the people here. There are no hidden... I've even spoken to the blasted cat. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else I haven't spoken to here. Wait your next visit. Alright, let's conclude exploration here. Let's drop a save first. I had best regroup with the others.
We got our hands on a fine souvenir thanks to Lady Frederica.
You know what? This is something I'm curious about. Does the universal basic income also extend to Rosellans? That's what I'm curious about.
It is quite the feat indeed. Serenoa has terrible taste when it comes to gifts.
Oh, thanks, Roland. Thanks for throwing us under the bus.
Thank you indeed, Frederica.
Well, at least Serenoa knows.
Should we ask Minister Lila about what ails Lord Simon?
Actually, that would be a really good idea.
No. Even now, Lord Simon commands great influence. We cannot let others know about his condition.
He abdicated his position! Like, if we could save him, he could serve us even longer!
I understand. Not even our allies can know of our weaknesses, lest they use them against us.
Yeah, it's a fine game to play.
Indeed. We cannot risk exposing ourselves to such danger, for the young lord's sake as
People
well.
might get ideas. And you don't want people to get big ideas, if you know what I mean. Ooh, this back massager feels nice. Ooh, what happened?
What was that?
It appears there is a stir around the ministry.
I shall investigate.
What happened? Are there optionals? A scream resounds through the Ministry of Medicine. House Wolfert arrives on the scene shortly after to see... Ooh. Let's drop a save. Well, let's drop a save. Roster. Encampment. Let's make sure let's see if we can do some upgrading. Where is Anna? Anna got upgraded, okay. Frederica got upgraded. Gila. We should upgrade Gila. Ooh, but we need 2 stone. We don't have it. How about you, Roland? We need 2 iron. We don't have it. Duet. We have the means with which to upgrade her. Alright, so weapon damage, accuracy, HP, physical defense, or luck. Let's upgrade weapon damage. And just like that, we're broke again. And it's gone. I could sell that for 100 gold, huh? Alright, let's leave the encampment.
Anna, what happened?
Someone killed all the guards.
Some researchers at the ministry ran off with its secrets.
Wait, what? So... Ooh, this is getting good.
To think my ministry was infiltrated by unbelievers.
Yeah, you really need to do a better job of hiring people, Lila.
Unbelievers?
Heathens who reject the goddess's teachings.
At their head is a researcher named Plinius, who escaped with some of our most valuable findings.
Oh my gosh, Plinius. I remember that name.
You must retrieve these documents for us, Exham.
Consider it done. It could be anywhere in town by now. I will need all the eyes I can get on the lookout.
I must remain here at the ministry. Their spies may still be among us.
Uh-oh, she's going for a mole hunt.
Minister Exham, we would be happy to be of service.
We are in your debt, Lord Sereno.
Benedict is like, I don't know, bro.
The men we pursue are researchers, proficient in the arcane arts. The insight of one versed in their ways would be invaluable to us.
Benedict is a smart cookie.
Take Corentin with you. He is one of my most talented researchers.
Corentin.
Corentin, you are to go with House Wolfort and help him retrieve our research from Plinius.
As you wish, Minister.
Corentin Jennar, a researcher at the Ministry of Medicine. He studies only what he is told to, and Minister Lila has high hopes for him. He possesses a rare gift for ice magic.
All right, my friends. The pursuit begins.
Defeat Plinius. Lose all allied forces. Alright. Let's drop a save here. Unit placement. Plinius. Rebel Healer, level 5. Battle Mage. Where is Plinius? Rebel Healer. Plinius is right there. Okay. Let's see. I think we want to route everybody. Where's Eridor? We don't have the healing items to be able to swap in Gila for Eridor. Six out of 7. Benedict or Eridor? Let's bring in Eridor. He needs the experience. As much as I'd like to bring in Benedict. Let me see. Yeah, let's bring in Eridor.
Ready and willing.
He's kind of slow. Alright, we'll put Anna there. Alright, I don't have a problem with Serenoa's placement. You know what? Defeat Plinius, huh? I want Gila there. Alright, let's go. I don't want to overthink this before battle starts. The battle begins.
Plinius, give yourself up. There is no escape for heathens like yourself. Even attempting to steal our nation's secrets is a grave crime. One I know you have not forgotten.
This research is my life's work. I have poured my blood, sweat, and tears into it. What is so wrong with treating it as my own?
That's a good question. Well, it depends on how the legal system there works. Yeah.
Plinius. Such an untainted passion for knowledge cannot hope to survive here.
Oh, dang. He's the guy who doesn't like waking up on Sunday to go to church.
I had heard that Hyzant was a land without strife. It would seem that was too good to be true. We mustn't allow Blinius and his lackeys to get away! After them!
You can enter simulation mode by pressing A on a unit other than yourself. This allows you to test the consequences of various actions on the selected unit without actually performing them.
Your orders?
Alright. Alright, Anna, up front and end turn.
I won't lose!
Roland, up front.
You leave me with no recourse.
The hunt is on.
Alright. Let's see. We can strike that guy. Can we strike him from here? No. Can we strike anyone from here? No. From here, we can strike this guy. He's a battle mage. Well, she wanted to test her bow. Haste. Ooh, that's not good.
I needed that.
Defeat is not an option.
Alright, Sarah Noah. Crap, you know what I forgot to check? At the... Wait a second. You know what? Oh crap, what the heck happened?
I've been waiting for this.
I forgot to check something. Wait, no. That is not what I want. I can't access the menu. Oh crap. I put Sarah Noah in danger. Alright, let's get this guy up front. Have him sprint to increase his speed. Or movement, rather. Oh, dang.
Shall we begin?
End turn.
I see. So Ice heeds your call.
Haven't we met before? What is your name?
I'm no one of note, I'm afraid. You must have me mistaken for someone else.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that's the answer to somebody who was a big deal.
Shall we begin?
I will end this.
Huh. This is an ice place. No one has fire attacks. Oh crap, I spoke too soon. Deal ice type damage to all enemies within range and freeze the ground. To a single enemy, have the chance to silence them for 2 turns and freeze the ground. Let's do it.
A cold wind blows. Most interesting.
Sweet.
I will end this.
Alright, Anna. Throw some poison at this guy.
You won't escape.
And throw some poison at this guy too.
This'll hurt.
Roland, you know what to do. Hit him with the lance.
I grow ever stronger.
Learned rush. Nice.
Very well then. You will regret ridiculing me. The price for such insolence is your life.
Yeah.
Freeze! Gah!
Ooh, that's not good.
Forward.
Alright. Serenoa, I need you to kill this man.
Perish.
Time to take flight.
Alright. Let's see. Blinding arrow on... Blinding arrow on this guy. Alright, he's blinded. Good.
My research.
Oh no! They got the new guy. Puddles will form when it rains. A fire attack is cast on snow or frozen squares. An ice attack is set on squares set ablaze, with exceptions. The effects of lightning attacks will travel through puddles, damaging all units standing upon them. Okay, that's good to know, and not something we can use to our advantage. Oh crap! He's curing people. Eridor, no!
You are not worthy of my time.
I shall do what I can.
Oh man. Alright. Eridor needs healing. Who can she cure wounds on? Huette. Yeah, cure Huette.
Be at ease. I needed that. Let me show you what I've learned.
Flame shield on Serenoa.
For the good of all.
Splendid.
Gotta protect hubby.
I'll show you what I'm made of.
Let's hit him with an HP recovery pellet.
Now or never.
And let's set him up for some good old-fashioned wobbly H action. Crap, he's curing folk. That's not good. They keep targeting Eridor.
I ain't that slow.
Your orders?
Okay. Our first order of business is...
Allow me.
Hit him again.
It's over.
Alright.
Feel stronger
That's
already.
the end of that. And she's level 5 now. Wonderful.
For victory!
Oh, we're gonna give this guy the double thrust.
Brace yourself! Did you see that?
We win.
Heck yeah!
Defeat is not an option.
Poor Serenoa can't hit anybody.
You leave me with no recourse.
Woof.
Shall we begin?
Time to take flight.
Let me see, who can we hit from here? We can hit that guy. Actually, you know what? I'd prefer to hit this guy. Yeah, the healer, or one of the healers.
This ends now!
Leave it to me!
My pride is my shield.
Heck yeah! Alright.
Oh, no!
Not Gila!
I shall do what I can.
Cure wounds on self.
Be at ease.
And move to support.
Allow me.
Frederica, hit somebody, please. Scorch this man.
With the powers in me. What?
I'll show you what I'm made of.
Eridor, we need you to take care of this guy. Oh man, but you need some HP. Wait, what happens if we hit this guy? This guy's turn is up next, and he's likely going to target Eridor for big demi. Eridor, I want you to move. He's just not tanky enough for the action yet. I want you to move here and use an HP recovery pellet on yourself.
Now or never.
All right. Cured wounds on... Okay, that guy is completely healed now.
My turn.
That's it? Okay. In that case... Huette... Or not Huette, I'm sorry. Anna. I want you to hit this guy with the iron dagger. Hit him again.
For victory!
Hit him with the double thrust.
Brace yourself!
You're open.
From where shall we strike?
Oh, you're gonna get it good. You see, use an HP recovery pellet.
I need this.
This battle is ours.
Alright, these guys have this under control, kind of. Or have that situation over there under control. Let's attack this guy here to prevent him from attacking Gila, because Gila is our healer. And then let's move her into position up here to provide sniper support.
Not worthy of my time.
Very well then.
Okay, it looks like that guy is going to support Eridor. That's good.
Damn it!
You okay, Roland? Yeah, he's okay.
Let me heal your wounds.
Frederica is fine. Gila is fine. I'm gonna move Gila to support Eridor. You know what? Why not?
Your wounds are healed.
My wounds are soothed.
I fight for peace.
I want you to move down to support Serenoa. Let's get a flame shield on our boy. Wait.
Let me help.
Our victory is assured.
Come at me!
Alright, Eridor. You know what time it is? It's crunch time!
Time to work.
Yeah, let's do something about this battle mage here.
Allow me. Victory is within reach.
And hit him again.
Victory is within reach.
Ooh, that's not good.
For victory! Be gone!
Together.
From where shall we strike?
Alright. Let's see. Haven't seen much in the way of loot. Let's hit him with a delaying strike.
Wait your turn!
Shall we begin? It ends here.
Woo!
This battle is ours.
All right. Sniper support for the on the battle mage here. Yeah, she can take it. No sweat.
Shall we begin?
Gila, I want you to cure wounds on Eridor. Crap, you can't. In that case, cure... Jesus, she can't cure anybody, can she? Alright, move. Cure wounds on self.
Your wounds are
Hit him with the hammer!
My growth is plain to see. Let me show you what I've learned.
Scorch. Crap. There's no one to hit with this. There's no one to hit with this awesome spell. End turn. We'll wait.
They have to survive.
Ooh. She in trouble. Let's see. You know what? Let's throw some poison. Throw poison at this guy.
This'll hurt.
And you know what? Let's throw some more poison at this guy. Poison for everybody!
I'll show you what I'm made of.
I'm sorry, Eridor, you didn't get a chance to do much. Sprint.
Push on through. My turn.
These are Serenoa's kills too. Roland, move towards Gila.
Forward.
This ends here.
Take that guy out. Yeah.
Shall we begin?
Frederica hasn't really gotten a chance to hit anybody.
Give in.
You know what? You see, how much does she have? Yeah, HP recovery pellet, so that just in case.
Allow me.
Frederica is so hopelessly behind.
Let me heal your wounds.
Cure wounds on Roland.
Be at ease.
Sorry to worry you.
I will end this.
Just to soften him up a little bit.
Damn it all!
Ooh!
That all you got?
Eridor, you may get a chance to earn some experience yet.
Wait! Hurts, don't it? Look at me learning.
Heck yeah!
I won't lose.
Hit him with the lance. Wait. Actually, hit him with the lance. Make way!
Shall we begin? Your lifeblood shall paint my sword.
For the honor of House Wolfort.
That kill is mine!
This ends here.
My goddess, I am not your pawn. I am merely...
Exquisite loot. Now we only lost one guy. Ooh, we got some serious money for that one too.
What did you hope to do with our secrets? Sell them for riches?
No. We wished only for freedom in our research. Knowing we would be granted no such liberty here, we were left with no choice.
I see. You rebel against her teachings, as I suspected.
Bro, he just wants to be in charge of what he works on. That's it. To call that heresy, I mean, like, dude, it's kind of messed up, man.
Take them away.
And now they're going to prison. At best.
You have our gratitude, Lord Serenoa. We could not have apprehended the heretics without you.
They aren't heretics. They just want to enjoy their work.
What will happen to them now?
They will be punished for their wrongdoings, of course.
Yeah, we know that, but, like, punished how?
Defying the goddess's teachings is the most grave crime one can commit in Hyzant.
Oh, shit.
I see now. Equality here stems from their thorough elimination of heretics.
Ooh.
You did well, Corentin. For your efforts, you deserve a reward.
If you insist, I do have a request.
I have a request. Please, don't wake me up on Sunday. I just want to sleep in and watch cartoons. Please.
I would like permission to embark on a journey. I wish to learn more about the medicines of other lands.
Greater knowledge of medicine would prove useful in our studies of life. I will consider it.
We will take our leave here.
Master Corentin, thank you for your help today.
Yes, you hit one person and then got knocked out.
There's something I would speak with you about. Do you have a moment?
Yo, bro.
This place is too conspicuous. Let us talk elsewhere.
Yo, bro, you gotta get me out of here, man. You gotta get me out of here. They wake me up on Sunday, man. I can't even sleep in. Bro, you gotta get me out of here. I'm sick of all these holy rollers, bro.
You wish to leave Hyzant?
Yes. I wish to study magic, not medicine.
But just before, you spoke of wanting to observe medical treatment in other nations.
Yeah, that was a lie. I just want to get the hell out of here, man. I got money.
Merely a pretense to gain permission to leave. We cannot research freely in Hyzant. We are simply tasked with fulfilling our designated roles. Furthermore, no matter how revolutionary our discoveries may be, the world at large will never know them.
You mean to say you tire of Hyzant's secrecy?
You're not much different than those so-called heretics, then. Could it be you feel some connection with them?
Bro, I was the leader of them. I sold them out for a chance to get out of here.
To tell the truth, I was well aware of Plinius' plan. But I was a coward. One who could neither stop nor join them. And because of it, I ended up capturing those with whom I sympathized.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks.
I wish never to feel this way again.
So he's chosen the path of power.
And thus you mean to leave the Holy State entirely?
Yes, I have no intention of returning to the Ministry.
Oh shit.
Which is why I must ask if you would allow me to journey with you, as a member of House Wolfort.
Benedict's like, bro, this is a lot of trouble.
My lord, while he may be a unique character, he undoubtedly possesses a great understanding of the arcane.
There is one thing I must know. Would you be troubled traveling alongside my betrothed, knowing her heritage?
Bro, if it gets me out of church on Sunday, I would travel next to Satan. So that's what this guy would say.
Not at all. I'm abandoning Hyzant, and the goddess's teachings with it. On the contrary, Lady Frederica's magic fascinates me. I would love to learn more about it.
Now here's the funny thing, right? It would be kind of funny if he adventures with us for some time and then learns that he's being sued for the universal basic income that he's accrued throughout his life in Hyzant. Like, that would be nuts. Because theoretically, they can do that.
But of course.
Very well then. Welcome to our ranks, Corentin. Pursue your studies to your heart's content. I only ask that you put them to use on House Wolfort's behalf.
Of course. You have my thanks, Lord Serenoa.
Corentin joined your forces. Freezes the Corentin's aptitudes in battle. Freezes the field and slows enemy with ice magic. Can freeze squares, hindering enemy movement. Creates icy obstructions. Huh. That's pretty good. Alright. Let me see. Is there any optional stuff? Yes! At Ironstone, a certain report reaches the ears of the Archduke. Ooh. Let's check at the encampment first. Any new mock battles? None. We've got money again. But not enough money to buy anything substantial. What's Corentin got here? Lord Serenoa, I owe you a debt of gratitude. At last, I may pursue my research free from the Ministry's stifling orders. I am a student of ice magic, particularly the fascinating crystallized structures of ice itself. You see, as the surface melts, the quasi-liquid layer forms, and... Forgive me, my lord, I find magic to be a fascinating topic of conversation. Though I am but a scholar, I swear to you that I will prove that ice magic has its place on the battlefield. May the results of my research bring us all good fortune. Okay, nothing new. Alright. Let me see, what time is it? Alright, we'll view this scene and then we'll call it a night.
Thalos, how does Dragan fare?
Archduke of Aesfrost, Gustadolf Aestos. Archduke of Aesfrost and a firm believer in freedom. He is a broad-minded and level-headed ruler who has brought his nation to new heights by promoting those with skill rather than social status. But they're all poor.
As blustery and boastful as ever, brother. He is simply beside himself that his contributions to the mine have been recognized.
So he has achieved a measure of success. Perhaps I underestimated him.
What concern is he of ours? He is Svarog's son and of thinner blood.
Oh, these guys are in an incest.
We are not Glenbrook or Hyzant, Thalos. In Aesfrost, a man is judged for his deeds, not his pedigree.
Ooh, I like this guy.
And yet you have appointed me Prime Minister, have you not?
Hey, he's got a point. What are you going to do about that nepotism, bro?
I have given you an opportunity, brother. Do not be mistaken.
Ooh.
If you wish to keep your position, prove to me you are deserving of it.
Understood, brother mine.
Dear brother, do with Thalos as you please, but I bid you be wary of Dragan and Svarog. I've reason to believe they've designs on higher seats.
Do they? And what gives you that impression?
If they mean to overthrow me, then let them try. I shall relish the opportunity to crush them.
It sounds like Dragan was set up for failure, pretty much. Alright. System save. Drop a save here. And with that, we are going to call it a night. Thank you guys for dropping by. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Until next time, I want you, yes you, to be careful out there. Look out for yourselves. Look out for each other. Be safe. Stay sharp. Hunt well. Have a good one, and peace out. Later.